Okay, hey, I'm Mancini, co-author of Eating Las Vegas, here with Drew Terp at BarMasa. And Drew, thanks. I don't know how that turned out because I don't have a screen on the front, so I don't even know if I turned out. I keep telling people I don't know how to make videos, but we're gonna have fun with this anyway. Drew, thanks for having me back here. First of all,
of course, anytime.
Yeah, I want to chat with you a little bit. I mean, first of all, tell us what you got on the stove here right now. What are we doing?
It's a little bit busy. I've got, this is beef dashi for our Shaboo course. This is beef stock. That is one of the bases that goes into the beef dashi. Over here is lobster sauce. This is one of it'll be a sauce for our seafood Shaboo course. This is reduced heavy cream that goes in with the lobster sauce. So I made it separately, blended together, and that's part of our sauce. Over here is nabe dashi. This is the dashi that goes into the pot for our seafood shabu. So this is what actually cooks the seafood. And then we have lobster stock and crab stock. Those are all part of it.
Okay, great. So let's move back here away from these fans a little bit if we can. Okay, Drew, now one thing we've got to talk about here, of course, you are one of the restaurants included in the book, Eating Las Vegas. You've got a copy there, right?
Yep.
Eating Las Vegas, the 50 Essential Restaurants. BarMasa and Shaboo kind of combined in there in one of our top 10 restaurants. Were you excited to learn that you made the book?
Oh, 100%. Yeah, I mean, it's a great honor to be in the book.
Cool. And have you been able to read through the book? What do you think about it overall?
Oh, I have. I really agree with a lot of your picks. I haven't been able to eat as many of the restaurants as are in the book, but I definitely look forward to it.
Cool. Could you talk a little bit, you've had about a year here in Las Vegas, a little over a year and 3 months maybe we're going on right now.
Yeah, October is when I got here.
Yeah, okay. Well, I mean the restaurant actually being open though.
Open December 7th, so a year and a month.
Okay. So talk to me a bit about what your experiences have been. What has Las Vegas been compared to what you expected it to be over that year?
Well, Las Vegas is, the diners are much more personal than in New York. I was expecting to come out and, I mean, I understand that different places are different, different people, different textures, different food. But the diners in Las Vegas, they take a much more personal approach to their food. Whereas I always say that people like to be told what to eat in New York. People like to tell you what they want in Las Vegas. So adapting to that, I want this, I want it this way, I want it to be done, this specific way has been a challenge, but also, it's been fun because I get to adapt every day to different people's tastes. I mean, you feed somebody from Idaho, Kansas, Germany, France, every day, sitting tables apart. Where in New York, you're feeding people from New York. In California, LA, you're feeding, most of the people from LA. So that's one of the major obstacles, but also one of the high points is being able to work with people and instead of working for people.
Right. Now you were just saying to me, because BarMasa and Shaboo in particular, when they opened, were probably, well, certainly the most expensive restaurants in Las Vegas and perhaps in the country. I mean, Shaboo had an entry point originally of $500 minimum for food alone just to enter.
Correct.
But you've been telling me you're trying to make this a bit more approachable financially. It may never be a place that you go when you're on a really strict budget, but
right.
Trying to make it a bit more approachable financially. So why don't you talk a bit about what you've been doing?
Well, for BarMasa specifically, we've made it much more understandable. So Chef Masa's always had one piece of sushi and one piece of sashimi is an order. So for the menu, we've changed it so that you can order one piece or 3 slices. So you can see on the menu what you're actually getting. Instead of if you order one piece of sushi at a regular restaurant, you automatically get 2 pieces. So to overcome that frustration has been one of the things that we've done. And we've also lowered our prices dramatically in BarMasa. I mean, if you look at what it was now from what it was when we originally opened, and at the same time what it is in New York, I mean it's a third of the price of what it is in New York right now.
Okay. And you can now get into Shaboo for $300.
Yeah, dropping the price in Shaboo has been huge as well.
And yeah, I mean that's a big deal. $300, that puts you in the range of this town's other fine dining restaurants for their degustation menus.
100%.
I mean,
right.
Yeah, you're not totally out in the stratosphere by yourself
that's
anymore.
True, yeah. I mean, starting at $300 is originally what the casino wanted, and building up to $500 once we got a good fan base, is definitely what we need to do. So working from $300, but the thing is that most people when they come in and eat at Shaboo, they end up spending $500 and $600 a person as it is. So you start at $300 for food. They enjoy their wine, they enjoy extra courses, they enjoy everything that we have to offer. So I mean, it does end up being upwards of over $500 per person. It doesn't have to be though.
Right.
The main point.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Talk to me about what people are getting for that, because that's what I think a lot of people don't understand. They understand the sushi that they see at home, and they want to know what is so spectacular about this sushi. And of course, once you know where this fish is coming from and how rare it is, and what it's like just to get it into the country, I think people might understand a bit more about why why it's worth that kind of money.
Well, one of the best things about Shaboo is also one of the things that makes it so expensive is that it's individually tailored per person. So I can go out to the table and I'll talk with the guests. The servers talk with the guests. If they like specific types of foods, then I can alter their menu that way. I'm not locked into any menu. So most restaurants that have a pre-fee menu, you walk in and you look at the menu and you say, okay, well, this is what I kind of want. Or they have 2 or 3 different options for the pre-fee menu, and you're locked into that. Here, it changes. I've had tables of 4 people where they've all gotten the same first course, so I've changed second course, so 2 people and 2 people, and then by the end of the meal, everybody's eating a completely different menu, but it was personalized to that table, to the individual, to that group. So having that freedom also allows me to use, whatever ingredients I want. Instead of having people say, well, I'm not really sure if I would like, whole fried crab, little small bites, that gives me the option to go ahead and put it up, to say, I think you'll like this. And that, I'd say 90% of the time, I'm on the money. I mean, that's what my job is to say, I think you'll like this. This is what you're paying me for. Enjoy yourself.
And now you remember what people had if they come back a second or third time, right?
We keep files. So we write everything down, we put it in the computer, so when we get their reservations, we look it up on the computer, and we say, okay, this is what they had, they really like this, they enjoyed this wine, they paired these wines, they weren't so fond of this dish, and then we make a menu off of that, for sure.
Yeah, so, I mean, that's the level. First of all, if you have a little bit too much sake and you forget what you had, if you come back, I can trust that you're going to know what I had.
Yeah, we have everybody's meals that's eaten in Shaboo.
Right. And, okay, so that explains a little bit about the service. Can you tell me a bit about some of these ingredients, though?
I mean, some of this stuff you're not going to find anywhere else in the United States. You might find it at pretty rare places all around, but for a lot of the ingredients that we have, not only are they the freshest ingredients, what you read in your book is that our fish is 16 hours out of the water. I mean, it gets caught day of, driven to the airport, packaged at the airport, and shipped out to us.
And that's just to qualify. It gets caught where?
Oh, in the water? In Japan.
No,
in Japan.
Yeah, it gets caught in the water. Yeah. In the Bay of Tokyo or somewhere else in Japan. Correct?
We have Chef Masa has worked for years to get his purveyors and his fishermen that he trusts. So we have certain people. We have one fisherman that fishes our aji. We have one fisherman that fishes our kinmei, and it's all line caught. They get it, they catch it, they butcher it the way we want to, so that it bleeds out, perfect quality. They package it right away. They only send it to us, and I mean, it's out of the water and in our hands in under a day. So I mean, you don't get fresher fish than that. I've never seen fresher fish than what we get.
I mean, I think sometimes I remember how long it took me to get to Tokyo, and I think sometimes your fish gets from Tokyo here quicker than it took me to get back from Tokyo to Las Vegas. Yeah. I mean, seriously, your fish flies better than I do, man. So
for what we pay to transport it, it's sure.
Cool. Well, Drew, thank you so much, man. I appreciate you letting us take a look inside your kitchen. This is great, and I'm in for dinner tomorrow night, so you're going to be here, right?
You'll be in for a treat. Oh yeah, for sure. Chef Masa will be here tomorrow as well.
I'm looking forward to that. Thanks, man.
Yep.